They still have to give the ball to Dickerson an awful lot because he's the key.
36. Two backs. Redden is on a wing. And Dickerson. Dickerson got about 5.
1987, Los Angeles Coliseum. 100,000 people in the stands, but one number missing on the field. Number 29 jersey empty. Eric Dickerson wasn't taking the field. The NFL's greatest running back had started a boycott. He abandoned his team for money. And in that moment, the media condemned him. Greed, they said. Selfish, not a team player, only plays for money. Headlines everywhere. Sports Illustrated cover with the holdout title, constant criticism on ESPN, and Eric Dickerson, one of the biggest stars in NFL history, suddenly became a villain. But nobody asked. Maybe he was right? Don't forget to follow and turn on notifications because this is the story of how a man fighting for what he deserved got labeled as greedy. September 2nd, 1960, Sealy, Texas. A small town. Eric Dickerson was born here. It was a poor family. His father was a farm worker. His mother did cleaning jobs. Even as a kid, Eric was fast. He ran constantly. Nobody in the neighborhood could catch him. In high school, he started playing football, and everyone noticed this kid was different. In the 1978 season, he rushed for 3,952 yards, a Texas high school football record. Colleges came after him, and Southern Methodist University won. He went to SMU, Dallas, Texas. Big city, big program, and Eric dominated. Freshman year, he rushed for 1,000 yards. Sophomore year, 1,300. Junior year, 1,400. The team was winning. Eric was becoming a star. But there was something. Eric was driving around campus in a luxury Pontiac Trans-Am. How could he afford it on a student stipend? Nobody was asking, but everyone knew SMU was paying players, violating NCAA rules, and Eric was part of it. Years later, the NCAA launched an investigation. SMU had been paying players since the 1970s. Cash payments, cars, apartments, jobs for family members, and Eric's Trans-Am was part of it. A gold Pontiac Trans-Am worth $15,000. The NCAA gave SMU the death penalty in 1987. The entire football program was shut down for 2 years, the only time in history the death penalty was used on a Division I football program, and Eric's Trans-Am became a symbol of college football corruption. 1983, NFL Draft. The Los Angeles Rams selected Eric with the 2nd overall pick. He signed a contract. 4 years, $1,800,000. Big money back then. Rookie season, he rushed for 1,808 yards, a record for a rookie in NFL history. Selected Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Rams made the playoffs, and Eric became a star. The 1984 season started, and Eric made history. He ran every game, hundreds of yards every week. Nobody could stop him. He'd started wearing those famous protective goggles to protect his vision, but the goggles became an icon. Dickerson goggles were a symbol in the NFL. His running style was unique too, long strides. He glided. They called it gliding, like he was flying above the ground. Week after week, Eric dominated. Against the Giants, 148 yards. Against the Cowboys, 176 yards. Against the Oilers, 208 yards. By week 8, he had 1,000 yards. Fastest player to reach 1,000 in a season. The final game, December 16th, 1984, Rams versus Houston Oilers. Eric needed 215 yards to break O.J. Simpson's record. Everyone thought it was impossible, but Eric believed. First half, 133 yards. Fourth quarter, he broke through. With 4 minutes left, he crossed 200 yards. The crowd erupted. Final total, 2,105 yards. The NFL single-season rushing record. He broke O.J. Simpson's 2003 record from 1973. And today, 40 years later, that record still stands. Nobody's broken it. Adrian Peterson came close in 2012, but couldn't break it. Eric Dickerson's 2,105 yards is the NFL's most unbreakable record. Los Angeles loved him. Rams fans worshipped him. At the Coliseum, they cheered every game. Eric, Eric, they shouted. His goggles were selling. Posters were everywhere. And Eric became a superstar. But something was changing because Eric was looking at his numbers and he noticed something. The money wasn't enough. 1985, Eric's third NFL season. 1 year after breaking the record, Eric went to a meeting. His agent showed him the numbers. "Eric, you're the best running back in the NFL, but your salary ranks 7th in the league." Eric was shocked. His agent explained. Other running backs were making more. Walter Payton with the Chicago Bears, higher salary. Tony Dorsett with the Dallas Cowboys, more. Marcus Allen with the Los Angeles Raiders rushed for fewer yards than Eric but made more money, and Eric understood breaking records wasn't enough because the NFL didn't pay players according to their value. He met with Rams management. "You need to raise my salary," he said. Management refused. "You have a contract, 4 years, you'll play 2 more years. Then we'll talk." Eric got angry. "I broke the record, 2,105 yards. I made NFL history. And you're paying me a middle-class salary." Management responded harshly. "A contract is a contract, you'll play." And Eric realized the Rams didn't value him. He was just a tool. He played the 1985 season, rushed for 1,284 yards, another great season, but his mind was troubled. The 1986 season came. He rushed for 1,414 yards, got the Rams to the playoffs again, but management still wouldn't raise his salary. And Eric was getting impatient. He talked to his teammates. Some supported him. "You're right, Eric. You're the best. You should get the highest salary." But some opposed. "You have a contract. You should play. You're betraying the team." And Eric was alone. The 1987 season started, and Eric made a decision. Enough. If the Rams wouldn't give him a new contract, he wouldn't play. Boycott. Holdout. Rare in NFL history. Because players were scared. But Eric wasn't scared. "I'm the best in the NFL. Nobody can trade me." And the season started, but Eric wasn't on the field. Didn't attend camp, didn't show up for preseason games, and the first game came. The Rams were playing against the Houston Oilers, but the 29 jersey was empty. Eric Dickerson didn't take the field. The next day, newspapers exploded. Headlines everywhere. "Dickerson holds out for money. Greed over team. Selfish. Superstar abandons Rams." The Los Angeles Times front page had Eric's picture. Underneath the headline, "Greed or right?" But inside the article, the answer was clear: greed. Sports writers wrote harsh criticism. Eric Dickerson abandoned his team for money. "He's got millions, but it's not enough. He wants more. This is greed. This goes against the NFL spirit." Debate shows started on ESPN. Commentators condemned Eric. "Look, Dickerson has a contract. He signed it. Now he has to honor it. You can't just walk away because you want more money." "That's not how it works," another commentator added. "He's being selfish. The Rams are trying to win, and their best player is sitting at home counting his money." Disgusting. And the public believed it. Fans got angry. Rams fans booed him. "We loved you, Eric. We cheered for you, and you left us for money." One columnist wrote a vicious piece. "Eric Dickerson is everything wrong with modern athletes. Money-hungry, disloyal. He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about his teammates. He only cares about his bank account. When I was growing up, athletes played for love of the game. Now, they play for love of money." Dickerson is the poster child for this disease. The article went viral, reprinted in newspapers across the country, and it cemented Eric's image, greedy athlete. But nobody asked, is Eric right? Nobody checked the numbers. Nobody looked at other running back salaries. Nobody said Eric Dickerson broke the NFL record but gets the 7th highest salary in the league. Maybe he's right, because the media had created a narrative, greedy athlete, and that narrative sold. People wanted to read it. People wanted to be angry at a rich athlete, and Eric Dickerson was the perfect target. Weeks passed. Eric still wasn't playing. The Rams couldn't win. Backup running back Charles White was playing, but he wasn't Eric. The team started 2 wins, 3 losses. A bad start, and the press blamed Eric. The Rams are losing because Dickerson is selfish. Coach John Robinson stayed quiet. But management spoke harshly. If Dickerson wants to play, he'll play with his current contract. Otherwise, he won't play. Simple. and Eric was cornered. October came, week 5 of the season, and the bomb dropped. The Rams traded Eric Dickerson to the Indianapolis Colts for 3 players and 2 draft picks. Trading a superstar like this was shocking in NFL history, and when Eric found out, he couldn't believe it. They sold me. I broke the record. I carried them. And they sold me for money. But the media blamed Eric again. Dickerson wanted this. He boycotted for money. Now he's going to another team. Hope he's happy. And the greed label became permanent. But there was another side to the story, a side the media didn't tell. Eric Dickerson wasn't greedy. He was fighting for what he deserved, because the NFL was exploiting players. In 1987, the average NFL player salary was $300,000. Team owners' average net worth was $200 million. Players were getting only 32% of league revenue. The rest was going into owners' pockets. Television deals were bringing in billions of dollars, but player salaries were kept low. Because the players' union was weak. Because contracts were written against players. Eric knew this, and he'd realized the salary issue wasn't just his problem, it was every player's problem, especially black players, because racism still existed in the NFL. The quarterback position was mostly white players, and they got the highest salaries. Running back and wide receiver positions were mostly black players, and their salaries were low. Eric had seen it. Walter Payton was the NFL's greatest running back. He was black, but his salary was less than mediocre white quarterbacks. Tony Dorsett was the Dallas Cowboys star. He was black. But the team's white offensive linemen made more than him. Eric gave an interview in 1987. A sports writer questioned him about greed. Eric responded, "I'm not greedy. I'm fighting an unfair system. Do you know how much the Rams are paying me? $700,000. I broke the record, 2,105 yards. I made NFL history, and I'm getting $700,000. An average quarterback makes $1,500,000. And I'm greedy? No, I'm asking for what I deserve." But this interview didn't make headlines, because the media didn't want to tell this story. He transferred to the Indianapolis Colts. New team, new city, and a new contract. The Colts offered Eric 4 years for $4,500,000, much more than what the Rams gave. And Eric signed. "See," he said, "I asked the Rams for more money. The Rams refused. The Colts gave it. And now I'm here. Is this greed? No. This is the market." But the media didn't change the story. They still wrote Greedy Dickerson. He came to Indianapolis in the middle of the 1987 season. New team, new system. And he started playing immediately. First game, rushed for 114 yards. Second game, 96. Third game, 152. Dominant. Like he never stopped. The Colts had won 1 game in 5 before Eric. After Eric, they won 6 of 9 games. They made the playoffs. And Eric finished the season with 1,011 yards in just 9 games. If he'd played the full season, he might have reached 2,000 yards. The 1988 season came, and Eric continued to dominate. He rushed for 1,219 yards. In 1989, 1,311 yards. In 1990, 1,305 yards. 4 seasons, over 4,000 yards. Nobody could say Eric was aging. Nobody could say he wasn't good anymore, because the numbers were there. And Eric proved every game, I'm still the best. But the greedy label never disappeared. They asked in every interview, "Eric, you left the Rams for money. Do you regret it?" Eric patiently answered, "I didn't leave for money. I left for what I deserved. The Rams wronged me. I had the best season in NFL history, and they paid me a middle-class salary. That's unacceptable. I just wanted fair treatment." But the media didn't listen, because the greedy athlete story was more interesting. 1991, Eric's 9th NFL season. He'd turned 31. His body was starting to wear down. Playing running back for 9 years wasn't easy. He took hits every game. Every carry was a collision. His knees hurt, his shoulders hurt, his ribs, but he kept playing, rushed for 846 yards. In 1992, he transferred to the Los Angeles Raiders, 381 yards, just 11 games. Then he went to the Atlanta Falcons, 1993. His last season, 159 yards, 4 games, and he retired. 11 seasons, 13,259 career rushing yards, 7th in NFL history, 4-time Pro Bowl, 1-time NFL MVP, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year. And that 2,105-yard record, it was a magnificent career, but he had one label: greedy. Retirement didn't end Eric's fight with the NFL. In the late 90s and early 2000s, retired players started experiencing serious health problems, memory loss, chronic pain, depression. Some were committing suicide, and Eric noticed a pattern. The NFL wasn't helping them. Players who'd given their bodies to the league were being abandoned. Eric became an advocate. He joined the Retired Players Association, started speaking out about player rights. In 2005, he testified before Congress. "We built this league. We sacrificed our bodies. And now the NFL treats us like we never existed. Players are dying, players can't afford medical care, and the NFL does nothing." Then came the CTE scandal, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, brain damage from repeated head trauma. The movie Concussion exposed how the NFL had hidden evidence of CTE for decades. And Eric was furious. "I knew it. I always knew the NFL was lying. They knew we were destroying our brains and they didn't care, because we made them money." Eric got tested. The doctors found signs of early CTE, memory problems, mood changes, headaches, and he realized he was a victim too. "They sacrificed us for profit," he said, "and they called me greedy? I asked for fair pay. They destroyed our brains for money. Who's really greedy?" 1999. Eric Dickerson was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He went to Canton, Ohio, gave a speech, and for the first time in years, he told the whole story. "People called me greedy, called me selfish, said I wasn't a team player, but the truth is, I just wanted what I deserved. The NFL uses players and throws them away. We get injured, they make money. We lose our brains, they make millions. When I boycotted in 1987, I didn't just do it for myself. I did it for all players. Because somebody had to stand up and say no." And applause came from the hall, because now people understood, because in the 2000s, the CTE scandal had emerged. The NFL had hidden players' brain damage. Retired players were committing suicide. And the public realized, maybe Eric was right. Maybe the NFL really was exploiting players. 2017, NFL players went on strike, fighting for a new collective bargaining agreement, higher salaries, better health insurance, longer retirement benefits. And their leaders were inspired by Eric Dickerson. Because Eric had started this fight 30 years earlier, Dickerson showed us we don't have to be afraid, they said. We have to fight for our rights. Today, in 2024, the average NFL player salary is $2 million. Team owners' average net worth is $5 billion. Inequality still exists. But it's much better than before, and this is partly thanks to Eric Dickerson. Because when he refused to take the field in 1987 and said, "No, I deserve more," he made a historic stand. Was Eric Dickerson greedy? No. He was seeking justice, fighting the system, and maybe he lost the PR battle. Maybe the greedy label never disappeared, but there were winners. Because every player who came after him benefited from Eric's fight. Every new contract was a product of Eric's boycott. And that was the real legacy, a man standing up for what he deserved. And being proven right by history. The fastest man in football wasn't just fast on the field, he was fast to see the truth, fast to fight injustice, and fast to change the game forever.